So, you're about to start your first year of college. You're going to be a new freshman on campus, and this is the things you need to know to survive. Survival list for a college freshman. Okay? You need to pay attention to every single step because I'm trying to help you out, okay? Let me help you out. Anyways, hi everyone, welcome to my video. Thank you guys for joining me back again. My name is Anita Wabella. I just want to say hey to all of my 55 subscribers now. I am a senior in college. I am majoring in international relations with a certificate in pre-law and cybersecurity. Okay, a little bit more background to me about why I think I am great at giving advice about these things is because I was born and raised in Illinois, but then I ended up moving to Miami for college. And I just wanted to say that I literally came to Miami by myself, okay? My family immigrated from the Democratic Republic of Congo and they came to Illinois. So we really have no family in America, except on my dad's side we do have some family, but they're in different states. They are not in Florida. So I literally came to Miami, South Florida by myself with zero friends, knowing nobody. And I was still able to make friends. And this is why I want to help you out, because if you guys follow the things that I did, I'm sure you will have true success. And if you guys need any help, you could always DM my Instagram. So let's just get started with the first thing. Let's already just roll right into it because I know what you guys are here for and I'm ready to give it to you. All right? Survivor list. Survival tip number 1. I'm saying like survivor like it's a war. But honestly, freshman year is honestly, a lot of people say you're gonna have the most fun your freshman year. I personally did it. That was my sophomore year, and then usually my senior year I also had the most fun. That's based off high school terms. But my freshman year was not the most fun for me, but I did have a great experience though, and that's because of my friends. But I just wanted to say though that your freshman year is literally like going into your high school to your freshman year. It's a big transition. If you're going out of state, especially, you're not going to be by your family. You're not going to be by your regular friends. It's going to be so different than what it's like living at home. And if you are still living at home, save your money. Good job. Save your money. But if you're not living at home, it is just a big transition, but you are going to have so much fun and you're going to have so much freedom, but you just have to learn to stay safe, be diligent, and to understand that now everybody is your friend, okay? But we'll just get more into the little details, the nitpicks, the little things that you need to know later on. So we're just going to start out with our first tip, and this first part is going to be about making friends. And then like I said, I feel like I'm pretty credible at this just because, like I said, I came out of state from Illinois all the way to Miami, knowing nobody. So if you do these things, this is one sure way to definitely at least know some people on campus for when you come. First thing you need to do is post yourself on your college Instagram. Do it right now. Make sure your photos look cute, make sure they look nice and neat and whatever, and then you're gonna have a nice little bio. When they say, oh, what do you want people to know, I personally put like, hi, my name is Anita, I'm from Illinois, I'm gonna be a senior, or I'm gonna be a freshman at so and so school. My hobbies are this and this and that, and I am looking for a roommate. That part's gonna come in later. I am looking for a roommate, so DM if interested. I'm looking for friends, so let me know if you guys, what you guys are all with. Something like that, something along those lines, so that people can DM you. And I just wanted to mention that if you are undecided and you're like, I don't know if I want to post my Instagram because I don't know if I'm even going to go to that school, what I did is I put that I was undecided, but at this time in July you should already know where you're going. But for next year, if you're seeing this video the next year, I would put that I'm undecided but I'm still looking for friends and stuff like that, okay? Or you say I'm undecided but this is my #1 school, something like that, to let people know that I might not go here, but I'm still looking for friends because I might go here. It's my #1 option, all right? And even if it's not your #1 option, I don't think it's that bad to lie. But I don't even think it matters if you do lie or not. Just say you're undecided and everyone will probably still DM you. It doesn't really matter. At least for me, if you're a shy person that can't talk to people in person, then posting yourself on the Instagram will definitely help, because you're not doing that one-on-one interaction. Instead, it's on your phone, and being on your phone is obviously a lot easier for you to talk to people than in person. Okay, so if you're a shy person, definitely post yourself on the Instagram. If you're even too shy to post yourself on the Instagram though, and you don't want to, or you're just in a situation where, like, I had a friend who was going to community college, and she was still going to be in your area, but like she was going to be transferring in 2 years, but she still wanted friends on campus because she was living in the area. What she did is this. So if you're too shy, all right, DM the people that post. All right, DM anyone that you think looks pretty, looks nice, looks like you want to be their friend, it has a cute little bio, you guys have the same interests, you guys might have the same major, something like that. DM them. If you're too shy, just DM them, because you have to realize everyone is looking for friends. Everybody is looking for friends, so you don't even have to worry about, like, oh, what if this person's like gonna leave me on open or leave me on red. Even if they do leave you on a red, boo-hoo, go on to the next. All right, if you DM 10 people, at least 2, 3, 4, 5 of those people are going to DM you back and say, like, oh, blah. Now if you're wondering like what to DM, this is also really easy. This is also really easy. When I posted myself, multiple people DM me, and I also DM multiple people. I don't know if I still have to post. I highly doubt it, but maybe I'll show what exactly I put. But a cute little, hey, you're so pretty, we should definitely become friends, I'm coming in, I'm coming, this is like, that's how you make friends. And if you're going to start in the spring instead of the fall, put that in your bio and say, oh, I'm starting in the spring, but I want to still make friends and stuff like that, because no one cares. Everyone is still looking for a friend. Okay, just put it in the bio. And even if you don't put it in the bio, you could just tell people when you're DMing them, because I guarantee you, if you post on the Instagram and you post some cute pics that you look friendly, that you look like you look real bad in your photos, or you're just like, you just seem like a cool person, a cool little vibe, someone is going to DM you. All right, just do it. Either post yourself or DM people who post. Like, at least for me, my college, I already know that they already have a class of 2028, I think it is now. Yeah, class of 2028. I'm sure they already have one, and I'm sure people are already posting on them. I personally don't care to look at the Instagram, but I do know that when I was a class of 2026 and I was posting myself on the Instagram, people were literally older than me and they were still DMing me. I still think that's kind of weird. Why are you plotting on freshmen already? But you know, not my cup of tea, I guess. Not my cup of tea, because some of y'all are still 17. But you know, not my cup of tea, but you know, people got things, I don't know what they got going on, but it's not me. Anyways, that's besides the point. We'll get into the boys that you'll see, or the boys in the relationships that you'll experience on campus, because I'm not even just gonna go into boys, because girls can be just as weird too. So anyways, but to go on into men, I am not a man, okay, clearly. Clearly, but I would say, so like, I'm not a man, so I don't really know how y'all interact on Instagram. I don't know if it's weird to DM or not. I'm assuming it's not, because everyone's trying to find a friend, but just in case it is, I do know that men make friends a lot easier in person, for one, and two, men usually keep their circle tight too. So if you're a man that's worried about making friends, we'll get into the next part, but you will most likely make more friends in person. Okay, but again, I am not a man, so I don't know how it works, but I'm pretty sure you could just post yourself. I don't think that's kind of weird. But you can also DM girls and you can also DM guys too, so you can always have friends other girls, and you can always have guy friends too, y'all. Just DM both and see whoever's. It's good to know people on campus, so that when you go to campus events, because that first week, every freshman is going to be going to events that first week. Okay, so it's just good to know people, so that you can be like, oh, I saw you on Instagram, like, how are you doing? Like, that's just how you're gonna make friends, and that's how I made friends. And like I said, coming out of state, at least for me, even when, so like I said, going back to the friend that went to a community college, love you girl if you're watching this, but she ended up DMing me and was like, oh, I'm going to whatever school, but I'm gonna go to transfer to FIU in 2 years. So she was DMing me and we were going back and forth and like just texting and being friendly. Then she ended up she was texting other people too that she DM'd on the Instagram, and she added us all to a group chat, and that actually ended up being literally my friend group till now ish. Like, not, well, my friend group for the whole freshman year and then for some of sophomore year, but me and the girl are still friends, obviously, and I'm still friends with most, out of 5 people that were in the group chat, I'm friends with 4 of them still, okay? And I'm still really close with all 4 of them. We obviously have our own different friend groups now, but we're all still super close, okay? And so that's like just an example, because like if she never made that group chat, I don't know if I would ever have my most solid friend group, okay? If I never posted myself on my Instagram, literally if I never posted myself on Instagram, I would definitely have friends because I'm an extrovert, but I would say I don't know like what type of friend group I am. Like, everything really just happens for a reason. I'm very thankful I got out of my comfort zone and I posted myself on Instagram so that I could have friends, okay? Because if I didn't do that, I probably would not know literally anyone, okay? Most of the people that go to my school, they live around here or somewhere in South Florida, so they already had friends coming into the school, so that was an advantage for them. But for me, I had no one coming to this school. So it's just good to know that me posting literally got me friends. So that's why I'm encouraging you guys to post or DM. But just in case you can't do that, there's also making friends in person. So that's going on to the next step. Next step is making friends through clubs and organizations, okay? In my opinion, I think it's easier to make friends in person because they're in your face and you have to talk to them. But this only works if you're an extrovert like me and you can keep a conversation. I know there's a lot of introverts. My brother's a shy man. But it could be difficult to make more friends when you're shy. But when you join clubs and orgs, you get to be around people that have your same interests, probably your same major, and then you guys just get to bond over whatever is happening in the club or not, okay? And what also people do, obviously, is, you know, fraternities and sororities. That's another easy way to make friends. I personally did not go this route. I was thinking about it though, but I don't know, maybe things could change, but that's just not the route that I went. But I do have a bunch of friends who are in fraternities and sororities and they love it. They love their sisterhood, they love their friendship that they have, and it was just a very good experience for them, and they do have a lot of friends because of it. And it's not just about friendship, obviously, but that's generally a good benefit to joining fraternities and sororities. I will say though, just be prepared for drama, okay? Because not every fraternity or sorority is for you, so you just have to be willing to take the risk that you might not mess with these people. But I think in general, it should be a good experience though. As for the clubs and organizations, I joined like 4 clubs. I joined multiple clubs, okay? And I was a busy bee, especially my sophomore year, because baby, I was a busy bee. I was doing everything. I was joining this club, that club, volunteering, doing this, hosting events, doing that. I love joining clubs. It also looks great on your resume too. I joined and I made a lot of friends, but I made even more acquaintances. So even if you don't make friends, right, you could always make acquaintances, and acquaintances are very good for connections because that's a way to network, all right? And let's say you're going to a party, you need to get in, you don't want to pay the fee, but you know that man that you're in the club with, now you just got to chat him up, and now you're going in. Now you're walking in for free. Like, that's just an example. And even a professional, better example, okay, is you can ask your advisors for letter of recommendations, okay? And that can be your letter of rec come for, let's say, graduate school or scholarships, or some clubs require letters of rec, so like you could use those advisors as well. So that's a professional example. The other example I gave you was a fun example, okay? Both can be used. So yeah, and then even if you have acquaintances from clubs, let's say you want to go to an event but none of your friends want to go, you go to the event and you see your acquaintances there from the other club, then you just chill with them, and in that way you can become more closer with them too. Like, you see where I'm going with this? Basically, join clubs, join orgs, join something in person that make you also feel like you're a part of the campus life and student life, so that you don't feel like all you're doing is going to school, going to class, then going home, all right? Join something so you can just feel like you're a part of it, especially your freshman year. Especially your freshman year, because it's your first time. You have no bad negative reviews about anything yet. It's your first year, okay? Just try everything and see whatever sticks. Honestly, that was really what happened to me. I just saw whatever stuck. Tried everything, saw whatever stuck. As for your academic life, okay, this is important. This is really important, so I'm gonna need you guys to pay attention here. This is some secret sauce that I use every single semester. Every single semester. So the biggest thing, number 1, okay, do well at the beginning of the semester so that you can set yourself up for burnout at the end of the semester, okay? Now, this might not so apply your fall semester of your freshman year, okay? But it might apply your spring, because I feel like during the fall, you're motivated, you're new, you're ready to take on the world till that burnout hits you. Until you start going to parties towards the end of the semester, until you're ready to go home and go to Christmas break. So what I did, I set myself up in the beginning of the semester. I was turning in my assignments on time. That was really what it is. You get a lot of points taken off for turning in late work. Turning in my assignments on time. Actually doing the work. Make sure I proofread. My freshman year, I had a lot of English classes, so when I proofread, I asked my friends to proofread too, because grammar was not my strong suit, and still isn't my strong suit, honestly. But I asked my friends to help me. I was making sure I was putting in the work at the beginning of the semester so that if I did burn out towards the end, I could still save myself. And also, putting in more effort in the work also sets better habits throughout the semester. You don't want to start off slow. You don't want to start off with turning in your assignments late, okay? Because that just won't help you out in the long run. And if you do start off strong in the semester and you do end up burning out at the end, a nice little email to your teacher or your professor saying, I am so sorry. You know I'm usually not like this. As you can see, I always turn in my assignments on time, but today I just can't because I'm doing this and this and that. Whole time you probably just got back from a party and you just couldn't turn it in on time. Or maybe you're actually going through something, which happened to me. I was going through something and I just could not turn in my assignment on time because I was busy with 2 jobs and I just couldn't deal with it. She did not give me an extension, but I have had other teachers give me extensions before because of the fact that, like, I showed that I'm a good student. I turn my assignments in on time, that it really isn't like me, that I'm really just going through something, and they gave me an extension because I started off strong. So that's what I'm saying. That's my biggest tip for you about your academics, is always start off strong, at least. Because honestly, we're going to go into number 2, okay? Number 2 is, it's inevitable that you're going to skip class one day. Okay, it is. But if you start, I'm saying just because it's inevitable does not mean you need to. Does not mean you need to skip class, okay? I'm just saying a lot of people do skip class a couple times, okay? And I'm not going to pretend like people don't. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm human, and I know you're human too. It's inevitable that it may or may not happen, okay? But when you do skip class, again, setting yourself up. By setting yourself up for the beginning of the semester and start to get rough, towards the end of the year, you can save yourself. And then building good habits. I recommend going to every class. I went to every single class that was required. I went to required classes, okay? And if I didn't go to a class, I knew what I was doing, and I knew that I either wasn't getting attendance called for, or I knew what I was doing in the class. Yeah, I got all A's except for 1 B. My only B my entire college career, except I haven't started my senior year yet. My entire college career, my only B was my first semester at freshman year. And I got a B because I did go to every single class. I came on time. But I just think that in my head, I was like, oh, this is supposed to be a hard class. Like, it's okay if I get a B. No, it's not okay if you get a B. You should still putting in all your effort. And I just felt like I didn't put in all my effort. So now I have 1 singular B throughout my whole freshman year. I'm not saying it's a bad thing because a B is still good. Obviously, it's above passing. But I'm an A student. In high school, I was an A student. So that's what I'm saying now. But honestly, if you do get a B or a C, as long as you pass. But I will say that your GPA, my sister even told me when she came out of college before me, because she's like 7 years older than me, she told me that your GPA matters. So make sure you keep that GPA up. Even after college, I guess it still matters. Like if you're planning on, maybe you're going to take a break and then later on you're going to apply for your master's, your GPA matters. So 1B, you're going to survive with 1B. You're going to survive with 2, 3, 4 Bs. Okay? But obviously aim for A's, and obviously aim to get to your class on time. Turn in assignments on time. Do what you need to do to set yourself up for success. Because at the end of the day, it's your money. It's your money, it's your time, it's your career, and it's your effort. You're gonna be a grown adult now. Some people will have the luxury of having their parents still help them and still try to coach them through things. But for the most part, you're literally going to be a young adult. You're going into your adult ages. And anything you do in college affects you. You're basically you're a young adult. You're going into your adult years. What you do with your time at college, nobody else cares. Obviously, your school, your college, your professors want to set you up for success. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to put in the effort. No one's going to be dragging you by the hair to get to class on time, to turn in your assignments on time. Everything you do is on you. It is. And that's really just how it is in life. This past year, when I started paying my own rent, I was slapped with adulthood, okay? And the only person that could get me out of it was myself. So it's like, in your college years, your academics are gonna learn. Anything you can get, not even academics, but friendships, anything you get yourself into, you gotta do it yourself, okay? Not every single time can you call your parents. You gotta just do it to yourself and get through it. And that's literally just a part of adulthood. That one song, in a good I know. That song is so real. After you start paying rent, you'll get it. Or if you don't, like, that song really touched my heart. Sometimes I'd be driving to work and I'd be listening to it, like, in a good to be on your own, and I'd just be crying. I'm crying. In a good to be on your own. Yeah. But adulthood is fun though. It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, it's fun. Next is managing your time. For me, my holy grail was my Apple calendar. Okay, my calendar on my phone is magnificent. It was beautiful. My freshman, my sophomore year, especially my junior year, any other time, I had my work schedule and I had everything color coded. I still do have everything color coded. I had my clubs color coded. I had my work color coded. So I put everything in my schedule of what I needed to be at, and it was color coded and it had everything I needed. Your calendar would save your life. I recommend keeping a calendar to keep track of all the clubs you need to go to. Now, for your homework assignments, my school uses Canvas, and in Canvas there's a calendar on there and it shows when your assignments are due. So I use that calendar because I had the app on my phone, so it's easy to access. My assignments, not for my work and my job and everything, that I would put on my calendar and on my personal calendar so that I could just check it. Everything with ease. I can open my phone up right now, calendar, first app right here. And then I can see what I gotta do for the day. And that's another thing, is making a routine every single day. I woke up, prayed, checked my calendar, see what I gotta do for the day so that I don't miss anything. I can't tell you how many times I missed something because I took a nap. I don't know if that was really taking a nap was poor scheduling, or if I was just irresponsible, or if I just really just overslept, okay? But there's been multiple times I overslept and I missed a club meeting or something. So make sure you use your calendar and make sure you set an alarm so you don't miss your meetings. And kind of what I was talking about with the waking up, praying, and checking your calendar is setting up a daily routine. Okay, number 3, set up a daily routine so that it keeps you on track and keeps you responsible. This could look like waking up, going to go take a walk in the morning, waking up, going to go eat first, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. You know, just simple things that you just do every day, your simple morning routine that you do every day to get your day started and to get your things that you need to get done. Also, I like a routine. That's how I'm able to do everything that I need to. And it just helps me with my scheduling in general, that I just need a routine. It doesn't have to be every single day, but you know, just keep it on track for the most part. In your routine, or when you're making your schedule, please make time for your friends. You're going to get overwhelmed especially if you're not around family. Your friends are basically your family, at least for me. When I was out state, I was always with my friends. Now, not so much because we're all working and stuff, but you need that support system, and it's going to be your friends, most likely. If you have the luxury of living at home, then it could be your friends and your family. Yeah, just make sure you make time for hanging out with your friends. It's also good for your mental health as well, just to get away from the academic life, because you might have a really, really hard major. My major wasn't as hard. No, well, my pre-law certificate is hard. But in the beginning of my freshman and sophomore year, my major was not as hard. Now it is. Just knowing what I know now, I'm just really happy that I was able to make time for my friends, and we were able to just still do things. Like, we would go into our dorm kitchen and we would make a meal. I had a very big culture shock because I came from Illinois to Miami, like South Florida, and this is the only place where I've had Caribbean friends, and all my friends at the time were Jamaican. So they would make like Jamaican food, or we would just do little things that like exposed me to the culture. It just eased my mind. It helped my mental health to be with my friends. We would go shopping sometimes. We would just walk around campus. There's a bunch of free things you could do. We would go to the food place and we would go get food together. Like, those are just little things that you could do to just make sure that you're staying up and staying on task with your friends. And another way that some people kept their homework, like, as a schedule and on track, is that they would put it into an Excel sheet, and they would put the due date, and they would just go through the syllabus, because you need to read your syllabus. You need to read your syllabus. You need to read your syllabus, especially the late policy. They'll go through the syllabus, and they'll just put an Excel sheet, and they would highlight when they're done. I personally didn't do this because I knew it would take me a lot of time, and I am a procrastinator. By the time I would get to making a schedule for my assignments, the semester would be done. So I always just relied on the calendar, but I know that the Excel sheet works for a lot of people because some people, they just like to see it all in a row, like all in all of the classes. So that's one way to do it. So now on to the next topic, your mental health. Your mental health is so important because you're going to feel overwhelmed sometimes. College is a lot, especially your freshman year where you don't know anything. At least for me, my freshman year, I didn't even work. So I was basically broke. Well, I wasn't broke because I had the luxury of my parents giving me, or my mom giving me money. But if you don't have that luxury and if you're by yourself, we're going to also talk about saving, like money issues later. But if you don't have that, prioritizing your mental health can be difficult. Because like I said, you're by yourself, or you may not be by yourself, but it's just that you're in a new environment. So some things that can help is to just make sure that you keep up with your routine, that you're sleeping, that you're eating food, okay? Those are two things you need to work on, or that you need to prioritize. It's your sleep and your food, to make sure that you stay healthy, that you're going to the gym, that you're prioritizing, you're doing your own self-care, you're not letting yourself go, you're just doing things that you're used to because that is important. If you don't have enough money for food, my school personally, and I know a lot of other colleges have it set up this way, to where there's a food pantry and you can go in like maybe once a week at least and get food for free, because it's based off donations from students, staff, and stuff like that. That's what my school had, and I hope that your school does it too. And if you don't know, just make sure you research and see what your school offers for students that are struggling with their money, okay? Because food is very important, and I wouldn't want anyone to have to feel like they have to starve themselves so that they are saving money, okay? I know my freshman year or my sophomore year, I'm pretty sure me and my friend would go into the pantry and we would just get a few things. Not too much so, because I think at the time I had a job, so like I didn't want to take it away from other people. But that food pantry is for students, so take what you need to, and please do not starve yourself. And please sleep, because you need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And also, if you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna notice it, and then that's just gonna make you even more upset, because you know that you're not taking care of yourself. So it's like, just keep up with your routine, and when you keep up with your routine, it just helps any problems later on. And then even with your mental health, you're going to have relationship problems, especially your freshman year, especially that first semester of freshman year. Let me tell you, I'm having war flashbacks now. Okay? My freshman year, I had a lot of relationship problems, and that was because the first week of the first semester of my first year of college, I decided to lock down, whatever that means in college, lock down, okay? And no, it was no title, it was a situationship. That's really what it was. But what I found was college men were worse than high school boys. That's what I found, because I didn't prioritize myself. I didn't prioritize my friendships first. I always prioritize my friendships, and that's the reason why I got through the things that I got through with that relationship, that situationship, because they screwed my head on tight. But then we were also all delusional over different people, so we really just like, it was a blind leading the blind, really. But honestly, you have to go through it. You have to go through your first situationship heartbreak, your first semester of your first year of your first time in college, okay? That's just a rite of passage. But that is why your friends are important, because they will help you get out of that. and not even your friends. That's why your self-care, your routine, your self-confidence, everything, you got to prioritize yourself. You will get out of that, okay? Because gotta help your soul, y'all. Gotta help your soul. It's coming. That first situation, Papa, it's coming. Just be careful and be diligent. Be safe. If you guys need any advice for any relationship problems that isn't like dangerous, where it's like you're literally risking your life by being this person, DM me and I can help you. Okay, I can help you. I can give you some of my little senior advice for y'all freshmen. Because the Lord knows I've been through, baby. I've been through it. But now I'm at peace, and I'm honestly, I've been through so much, y'all, that I'm by myself now. That I am at peace, no rust, or I am at peace. I am at peace. So, yeah. Also, with your mental health, though, is that your school should also offer free counseling services. That was another thing that I use personally because, baby, I was going through it. I was going through it. And sometimes you don't feel comfortable talking to your friends about those things because you just feel like they might not understand. So I went and used the free counseling services at my school, and they were able to meet with me in person, or I could also meet on Zoom as well. So just look up what your school offers, and hopefully they should still have free counseling. And if they don't have free counseling, then look at what they have in the area, and they should still have free counseling. Like, I think in my school they even have relationship counseling too, and they also have group counseling. So get the therapy if you need it, because everyone's gonna need extra help. It's life. We're going into adulthood, and those are just the things that you need to know. Next is roommates. Roommates, y'all. Roommates. So back to the first step of making friends and posting yourself. I found my roommate through posting myself, because I put in my bio, I think I posted myself on 2 Instagram. The first Instagram I didn't say that I needed roommates. The second Instagram I did say that I needed roommates. My friend, she's my friend now, I know. She DM'd me and she was like, hey, are you also living in this building? Like, I'm looking for a roommate. And that's how I was able to find my roommates. That was also another reason why I'm saying posting myself was the best choice of my life, because I don't know what I would have done. I would have had random roommates, and I didn't want to have random roommates. That's why I wanted to choose. I just had multiple people ask me, and I just looked for whichever one I vibed with the most. Not them honking down there. But when you do have roommates, set up rules early. If you don't like something, let them know. Have a group conversation with your roommates to figure out what you guys like and what you don't like, because they could always use the excuse, like if you ever find, like if you're ever over and you're like, I'm bothered by this, like I don't want you to do this anymore, they could use the excuse of, oh well, you didn't have a problem before, why do you have a problem now? Like, you don't want that. Just set up rules early. It stops the headache. Figure out what everybody else is comfortable with. You figure out what you're comfortable with, and everything will be cool. Hopefully, if you have good roommates. Also, coordinate with your roommates about who's bringing what. My roommates, we all did group FaceTimes on Instagram because not all of us had an iPhone. So we would just talk about like who's bringing the air fryer, who's bringing the microwave, who's bringing this. And that also just stops a lot of headache, and it just helps with the coordination. And then also you would want to FaceTime people just so that like you know if they're the right roommate for you, you know? And if you're in a situation where you're not dorming and you don't have a roommate, stay blessed. All right, now we're gonna get into money and saving, which I feel like I may or may not do another video about this, but we'll see about in depth. But I would recommend with your money, okay? I know I'm posting this video sort of late, but hopefully you've already been looking at other videos. I'm gonna even get close, okay? Hopefully you've already been looking at other videos, but you're going to need some money. I remember I looked at a video. I was looking at TikTok and I was scrolling, looking at videos of how much of what I need for college and stuff like this. The lady said save at least $5,000 for your first year. I said, huh? Who is spending $5,000? I haven't even touched $5,000. Who's saving $5,000? But the lady was right. I won't say save $5,000. I had a graduation party. Stay blessed. I had a graduation party for a reason, and I asked everyone to bring me money. They didn't ask everyone, but like it was implied. It's a graduation party. We need money. Give me money. Give me money now. So I had a graduation party I didn't really harass people, but they would obviously give me money. I saved all of that money for my first year of college, and I put it in my bank account as soon as I touched down on campus my first day, because I knew that if I kept it in my bank account, I was going to spend it. So I think I saved about, I don't even know, maybe at most $1,500. But honestly, if I had saved more, like, wait, what's that, 15? I think it was more than 15. Maybe it was something somewhere around there. It was definitely not $5,000. But I had the privilege of having my mom help me and send me money. So then that's why. And then even my first year, freshman year, I didn't work. Because that's also another suggestion, is to not work your freshman year, because you're really just like starting. But if you don't have the privilege of that, yeah, you're gonna have to get a job. You're gonna have to save your money from what you earned over the summer, and hopefully you've been working over the summer. Like maybe whether that be for your parents or doing whatever. Save your money then, and then your freshman year, you're good. What I noticed was I had a job all of high school, mostly obviously when I was allowed to work, when I was legal enough to work. And I noticed real fast that freshman year, that first semester, that I was not going to be spending as much money as I was. I am not living at home anymore. I do have to pay for my own groceries. That's what most of my money went to, was groceries and food, and sometimes clothes for events. But yeah, you're just going to notice that you're not going to be spending as much money anymore anyways. So saving that amount of money from you working over the summer is going to help. And like I said, if you don't have the privilege of not working your first year of college, you can always get a job on campus. I would recommend applying online and then go in person, and then literally just tell them, oh, hey, like, could I please talk to a manager? I just applied, and I just wanted to see if you guys are still looking for somebody, and I just wanted to put a name to a face. Something like that. And then you can also tell them that you already applied online. So just look at the portal, apply, go in person, try to get a job. That's how I got my job, was going in person. So a lot of people get their job by just going in person. Some people get it by doing it online. A lot of people don't. Now, last question that you're probably asking: what do you bring for your dorm in your school? Well, that'll be in a different video. That'll be in a different video, because I really want to make a checklist for you guys for what you should bring for your dorm. I know that the what should you bring for your dorm that you may not already think of, really, those videos really helped me. So I just want to make some for you guys. Just look out for that. It should be coming out either probably the weekend after I post this. The dorm needs and the school needs that you need to have, I'm gonna start making a checklist now, so I can have that for y'all. And you guys can check off what you already have and what you need. So stay tuned for that. On another note, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you if you stayed the whole time of this video. If you stayed the whole time of this video, please comment, stay blessed, okay? Please comment, stay blessed, because I feel like I said that a lot. Comment that to let me know that you stayed for the whole entire time for the video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. If you guys need any advice, feel free to DM me. I have my link tree in the bio. Click the link, and I can also put my Instagram ad right here if you guys want to DM me with any questions that you may have. And once again, I really hope you guys have a really fun time your freshman year. Just stay safe and stay blessed. Bye, y'all.